Hey guys, welcome back to FYI. Now, it's your guy Crystal. You know, I'm always going to be here to give you the best advice that there is, right? So today, I'm going to be talking about something that's kind of, fun. Putting it together made me laugh, so many times my ribs cracked. But before then, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I hardly say this, but if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please hit the subscription button down below, and be part of my world. Trust me, it's something you want to be part of, okay? 2020 has been one hell of a year. Anybody can agree with me, whether you're in Europe, Asia, Antarctica, or Africa, you would agree with me that 2020 has been one heck of a year. Now, I'm going to be talking about certain things that we should normalize this year before we cross into 2021. Because with how much stress 2020 has brought us, guys, we literally don't want to enter the next year with any baggage, okay? So I'm going to be giving us 10 items or 10, should I say tips of things that we should normalize going forward. Number one, saying I love you. I need to sit up for this one. Particularly to Nigerian fathers. What is so hard in saying I love you? Like, why do we find it so hard to say I love you? I love you, not, okay, parents saying I love you, fathers saying I love you to their sons. It's almost like something that can never happen, and I don't know why. David, has your dad told you he loves you before? Has your dad told you he loves you before? Yeah, has your dad told you he loves you before? He hasn't. But deep down, we know that our parents love us like crazy. But why is it so hard for them to say it? Because sometimes it's not like you need to necessarily say it, but saying it sort of like solidifies the fact that, okay, he actually does love me. There's nothing wrong. It doesn't take away from who you are. It doesn't take away from your masculinity. But I figured that all of this a lot of times boils down to fragile masculinity and the fact that they just feel that as men, we shouldn't show emotion. We shouldn't be emotive towards our children, particularly our sons. But I'm here telling all the fathers out there, guys, sorry, I said guys, fathers, I'm sorry, fathers, please, let's normalize saying I love you, especially to your sons, okay? It might be easier for them to say it to their daughters, but especially to your sons, say it, because your sons also need this balance in their lives. Going forward, I'm still talking about the fact that I love you is hard for people to say. We also need to be able to normalize saying I love you to your friends. It's not a big deal. It doesn't have any negative connotation. This is something that almost sounds as if it's bad, but it's actually a very good thing. If it's somebody who truly is a friend to you and who has been of some sort of import to you over time, it should be normal to say I love you. I remember back when I was in uni, I had of course I was very popular in school, but I had 4 or 5 people who were basically in my circle, and we're really tight till today. We're really tight, and sometimes when we are together, we're about to leave, I'm like, hey guys, take care of yourself, I love you guys, and all. I say it to them. I don't remember them saying it back, but to me, it's a normal thing. Growing up with love, saying I love you, it's normal. It doesn't mean there's any sort of sentiment attached to it in any way, any form, or any manner. It's something that we should normalize, okay? So say I love you. Be affectionate. Be emotive. It doesn't take away nothing from you, all right? Second thing that we need to normalize going forward is selfishness. Yeah. And when I say selfishness, I mean selfishness to yourself. Going forward, I've decided to be a little bit selfish. The way I've lived my life in the past, I always put every other person ahead of me, ahead of my plans, ahead of my thoughts. I'm always like a second pedal in my own life. But I'm growing older and I'm seeing life differently, and I've decided that going forward, I'm just going to be a tidbit selfish. Doesn't mean I'll stop being, caring to other people or stop being a shoulder that other people can lean on. No, it just means that I'm just going to put myself first now. So before I probably think of my friends, I probably also think of myself first, and just give myself a little bit more priority, just so that, I can show myself a bit more love. Because how do you actually love other people in their entirety if you first cannot love yourself? Make sense? All right. Next point. Being able to say I'm sorry. And I do understand the fact that it could be very hard sometimes, especially or particularly when you're with a younger person. But really, it's not a big deal. It shows a lot of humility. If, for instance, now you're, let's say, 35 years old and then you have to apologize to somebody who is, let's say, 18, it doesn't take nothing from you. The only important thing there is recognizing the fact that you're wrong. If you're wrong, you're wrong. It has nothing to do with age. You could be 100 and you mess up. Nobody is perfect. That concept of perfectionism, should be completely washed away from our vocabulary because it doesn't exist. We could try to be, we could be people who always want things to move the way they ought to be, but there's no such thing as being perfect. So you could mess up and then it's to a younger person. It shouldn't be a big deal to say, hey, I'm sorry, or hey, I apologize. It's not a big deal. It actually means you're pompous or you're too proud to apologize to somebody who is younger than you just because you feel you're older than the person. It makes absolutely no sense. All right, so up to number 4. Discussions on mental health, particularly in the African Nigerian society. People do not talk about mental health, and I wonder why. And the rates of suicides are increasing every day, but people don't want to talk about mental health. This is very important. We need to normalize talking about mental health. You see a friend and you're like, hey guy, what's up? How are you? I do that all the time and I'm like, no, like, how are you? I'm not just asking how are you, like, for real, how are you? You need to find out how people are. What's the state of their mental health? Like, where are they, gravitating towards? Because the world is crazy. Imagine the year we just, we're about to wrap up. Look at all the deaths, look at the pandemic, everything it is that happened. People's mental healths are messed up, like totally messed up. So we need to normalize asking people how they are so that people who feel down, I've run an episode before on depression. I think I'll put the link in the description page below. So people need to be able to know that they can seek for help. They can talk to people legitimately without these people trying to pass judgment at them or making them feel like it's just a phase. No. It's not just a phase, it's a serious situation that could lead to suicide. It's a serious, situation that could lead to deep depression. It's a serious situation that could mess up an entire life. So let's normalize asking people about their mental health. Very important. Next point is sex education. Who makes a big deal out of sex these days? Yes, it is a big deal, don't get me wrong, but talking about sex at this point should not be that big of a deal. I don't know why it's still so hard for parents to talk to their children, or for guardians to talk to people who are under them about sex. It's not a big deal. I know why it's more important that you talk to them early about it, because if you don't talk to them about it, they will still find out, and it's worse because they'll find out from their friends, and most times they might find out through a practical mechanism. And you don't even want that happening. So rather than making them stray off and then go do practicals that they are not ready for, trust me, they will do it. Talk to them about it. And don't wait till they are 14 or 15. Kids these days are 10, they know everything. So the earlier you talk to them about it, better. It's like biology. It's like talking about planting a flower or a tree or planting a seed. It's the same thing. You talk about sex education. Everybody is born with their sexual organs there. It's right there. They see it. Let them know what it's all about. From the earlier you start, the better. Even if it's from 5 years old. But of course, you won't start talking about deep details to a 5-year-old. You know what I mean now. But as they grow older, with age, you can increase the intensity, of your vocabulary and your words, in trying to make them understand what it is you're talking about. It's reproduction. And it's, all of those things. Don't try to water it down and tell them that, a girl gets pregnant when this one happens, or that all those silly things that they will tell us when we're kids. Please tell them how it happens. Normalize talking about sex education. Trust me, it's no big deal. Better they learn from you than from the internet. Thank you. Next point. Men taking care of their skin. All the guys, some people here are laughing. They are snorting now because I've shook the table that they are on. Men taking care of their skin is something we should normalize. Away with all this stuff that, because I'm a guy, I don't need to do all of that. Guy, you need to do it. Take better care of your skin. And when I say take better care of your skin, I'm not saying, go get all the products in the world, or you must go see a dermatologist or all of that stuff. Just sometimes it might just be little research online, like, okay, what's my skin type? What products will work better for me? Your skin is your covering. Your skin is your representation. Your skin is what people see. And you want to make sure that your skin is at its best. Okay, so put in just I'm not saying do too much, but just a little extra effort. It's not, taking care of your skin is not something that's reserved for a specific gender. No, it's not a female thing. It's a human thing. It's something that everybody should do. So just take little details as to how your skin looks, okay? Be particular about it. Try to go for the best product. Try to go for products that are more organic. Try to go for products that also would moisturize your skin, keep you looking good, keep you looking fresh and supple. Because your skin is your covering. You don't want to get older, hit 40 and start looking all wrinkled up because you never did anything when you were in your younger age, or in your prime or something. Okay, so guys, normalize taking care of your skin. Okay, away with all this toxic masculinity bullshit. That's just a lot of toxicity, and we don't want to have to deal with that. You're a guy, take care of your skin. Full stop. Thank you. Learning to enjoy your own company is another fundamental point. This still boils down to loving yourself. If you don't love yourself, you will not enjoy your company. There are some people I know who are only at their happiest when they are surrounded by friends, and it's a good thing. But you also should be able to be happy when you're just within your space and your confinement, just you, yourself, like me, myself, and I'm happy. It's not like me, I'm always working, I'm always traveling, I'm always here, I'm always there. So any moment I have to be on my own and bask in the euphoria of my glory, trust me, I embrace it with my whole heart, and I suggest you do the same. So learning to love yourself is like the greatest love of all. It starts from within. If you don't love yourself, you won't enjoy your company. So hey, let's normalize loving ourselves. Another very important thing we should normalize is the ability to say no. And I know it could be hard sometimes, but don't push yourself to an elastic limit because you're caught up in always saying yes, 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 yes. This is something I tell myself all the time. It could be hard, particularly when you have to do things for people who you love and people who you care for. But at some point, you need to be able to say no when you literally know that you cannot fulfill it, so that you don't stress yourself too much or put yourself to a brink or something that puts you under too much pressure than you normally should bear. So let's be able to normalize saying no, at least every now and then, ever so often. Let's normalize it. Another very fundamental one is knowing God for yourself. Now, the state of religion, particularly in Nigeria as we know it, is really preposterous. People have used and camouflaged religion in such a way whereby they tend to even manipulate people. I've seen videos of people who are told to eat grass. Just recently, yesterday, on Facebook, I saw a video of a pastor who was talking to female members in his church, and right there in church, they were pulling down their underwear for him to insert whatever into their private regions. And I couldn't even continue watching the video because I was so disgusted. How do you get so vulnerable to an extent that you can let some, sorry, forgive my word, but let some asshole let you do that in church? You pull off your underwear and he's having his hands inserted into you in church because what? He's trying to deliver you? That's like the height of it. So it's very important, and I say this to close friends all the time. Know God for yourself. God will be to you whatever it is you see God as. So know God for yourself. And yeah, it's important you have mentors, it's important you have pastors, it's important you have bishops and rabbis and all of that stuff to maybe guide you in the right way. But before all of that, if you don't have a personal relationship, then trust me, the relationship you have will be one that's fostered by another person that is not you. And you don't want that, because at some point you will be led astray, because everything you will be doing will be based off of their own caprice. And that is not what we want. So very important, normalize knowing God for yourself. Finally, the 10th and final thing I think we should normalize going forward is equality and inclusivity. Now, equality in the sense that, away with all those things where you're like, I'm the man. Who really cares what the heck you are? How much money do you have in your bank account? I'm the man. Nobody freaking cares. Like me, for instance, I don't care about all those things. If you're a lady and you can get the job done, by all means, let's get it done. I will still respect you. And this has nothing to do with feminism. I'm not even going on that route. I'm just talking about generally speaking, because I've seen men who have disrespected women so badly just because they feel that they are more superior to them. You're not more superior than anybody. We are all human beings at the end of the day. Okay? So let's adopt and normalize the concept of equality. You're not a better species than another person. No, what gives you that kind of stupid privilege? You're not. And then when I talk about inclusivity, make sure you're in your daily lives and daily things you do, you're inclusive. You employ inclusiveness as a key. Don't look at somebody and say, oh, this person is from here, so I'm not going to relate with the person this way. Or, oh, this person is too fat. Or, oh, this person is too big. Or, oh, this person is too dark skin, colorism. No, we could go on and on. We should live a life that evolves around inclusivity. That's one of the things that has made America one of the greatest nations on earth, possibly the greatest nation on earth, because of how inclusive America is as a country, as a nation, as a state. And we should employ the same thing and normalize it going forward. Alright, so guys, that has been the episode for today, and it's giving me so much joy sharing all these tips with you. Alright, so do the needful. You know how we do it. Haven't subscribed, hit the subscription button, be part of this world, because I promise you'll enjoy all the information we're going to keep putting out. A giveaway will be coming soon. Keep watching to know how soon that will come, and most likely you might benefit from it. We're approaching 2,000 subscribers. Around that period would have this giveaway thing working, and you just might be the one who gets away with a prize. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys. You have no idea. Remember, make somebody smile today, because it doesn't cost you anything. Have a beautiful day.